back like the seats of an 86 Delta 88 coupe on D's and Bones, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Going live in a minute, Blizzard King. This is Winter Dinner Spurling Podcast. You are rocking with the realest black men represented. Ain't no lies, cause we winning. Catching flies, ain't no feelings. Uncle D, we the villain, baby. We just left the village, baby. Now we in them villas, baby. Dinner Spurling Podcast. Tuning in, we get it, baby. You can hate the player, hate the game. We love all you haters. Hate watch, hate watch. Calling lovely ladies. Hands on your knees, you can thank us later. We snatching the crowns off of queens, we obliterate them. Tell the truth, shame the devil, they trying to eliminate us. You begging the sipping haters, peeling layers off of haters. Whoa, Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass, Tennis Spurling Podcast. Whoa, Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass, Tennis Spurling Podcast. Whoa.
We have to clean up what's going on in our house before we do anything else. What's up? Shout out to everybody who's out there. Big shout out to Your Excellence. Thank you so much for being first in. Shout out to Mile High Gambler. I'm going to definitely read all of these cash apps and super chats later on. This is definitely going to be a barn burner. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Dennis Spurling. I'm a YouTuber, podcaster, and close friend of Kevin Samuels towards the end of his life. And today we're going to delve into a topic that he brought up. He brought it up. He made it hot, and that has to do with cheating. Somebody type cheating. Somebody type cheating in the chat room. I know there's going to be a lot of ladies in here tonight. But again, fellas, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to re-emphasize this point. When I talk about cheating, it's not about them. It's about you, fellas. I want y'all to hear me. This page is dedicated to men becoming better men. Somebody type better men in the chat room. Yeah. And just so you know, fellas, I tell my sons the same thing I'm telling you. Don't cheat on your girlfriend. Don't cheat on your wife. One of the first conversations I had with my lady, and she recognized at that time that I was a successful man. I was a well-to-do man, handsome, tall. I was a lot handsomer back then. And she said, well, I know you probably have a lot of girls, a lot of women. And I understand if you step out. And I stopped her immediately. I said, I will never cheat on you. I told her that. My wife, I told her, I will never cheat on you. This is before we got married. And the reason I told her that, number one, because it's not about her, it's about me. It's about the type of man I want to be. And it's the type of image I want to put forward. And that's what we're talking about, fellas. That's what we do on this page. It's not about them, it's about us. If the women reap the benefit from better men, great. But sometimes being a better man means they disagree with us, right? It just so happens that this is one of those subjects that most women with common sense and good sense will say, yeah. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Y'all hit the number 1 button if you can hear me clearly. And so, today we're going to dive into this powerful subject. And this is about no cheating on your wife and your girlfriend. And for you men who cheated, hopefully you can pick something up from this, man. Now cheating, well, let me say it like this. This is a crucial discussion for understanding why men should avoid cheating on their wives and girlfriends. And cheating Number one, it undermines the man's moral integrity, uh, devaluing his commitment and his promise. And true masculinity and maturity involves self-discipline. Somebody type self-discipline in the chat room. It involves self-discipline and it involves control over one's desires. And we must recognize the significant harm cheating causes to relationships, leading to trust issues, emotional pain, and even potential DV. Okay? Consequences of cheating can be severe, resulting in unintended children. We know that. STDs, and damaged family dynamics. Historically, some men of high value have had multiple partners. But in today's world, we have to uphold our commitments with integrity. Because your word is all you have, fellas. Your word is your bond. Somebody type word is bond in the chat room. Shout out to all my dudes from New York, son. Word bond, yo. Right? Yeah. Honesty is paramount, fellas. And if you don't intend to be faithful, don't enter into a monogamous relationship. Okay? Now, I want you all to know that Kevin Samuels and I, and God rest his soul, I have great respect for Kevin Samuels. In fact, he's one of the main reasons I decided to start dating American women again, and that's how I found my woman. But note that he and I disagreed on this subject. And his view was that high-value men have the option to cheat. Somebody type option to cheat, okay? But instead, here, I emphasize the importance of staying true to one's commitments. Cheating does not lead to long-term happiness and can have serious legal and financial repercussions. So let's explore, fellas. Let's explore this conversation. Let's explore why we as men should uphold our commitments and practice self-discipline and prioritize my morality, integrity over succumbing to these temporary desires. And this, I think, is a crucial conversation about integrity in relationships. And so I hope you all will listen to this conversation with an open mind. Now, at some point, you're going to hear something that sparks your interest, something you may learn. We are actually going to talk about real life events. We're going to talk about the how society's developed and why cheating, as we call it, or polygamy. Where all my polygamists at, and I know y'all are in here. We're gonna give you every reason why, and I'm gonna debunk each and every reason. So just hang in there and listen with an open mind. So again, men shouldn't cheat on their wives and girlfriends. The number one reason, because you made a promise. Somebody type promise in the chat room. You gave your word. Fellas, you gave your word. You made a promise. And number two, when you cheat on your woman, you lose the moral high ground. Somebody type moral high ground in the chat room. Now, I tell you brothers all the time, I say that it doesn't matter how much money you make. You still the man of the house. You still are the ultimate authority in the house. But in order to be the ultimate authority, you have to be the moral authority. Your woman may make more, she may make more money than you. But you are the moral authority. And you can't be the moral authority if you're immoral. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be harsh, and I want y'all to hear me. If the relationship is failing, or if you're failing, that's no reason to cheat. What you should do is man up and leave her. Leave that woman before you cause damage to her and, more importantly, damage to yourself. Instead of cheating, just go get a divorce. Be the first one to file. Get on out of there. Pack your stuff, leave. Don't cheat. Because even if and I know divorce costs a lot of money. I've been through one. I know it costs a lot of money. But the reason it costs so much is because it's worth it. Life is too short, and you don't have time to be in a relationship that is dragging you down or causing for you to jeopardize your own moral integrity. This is not the time for games. And look, for you all who are about to say, well, the Bible says you couldn't get a divorce. Well, you were just about to cheat anyway. So who are you to evoke the name of God in this conversation? And here's another thing I want you to understand. Modern day marriages are not holy. Number one, in order to have a Bible marriage, there's some things that need to be in place. Number one, your woman needs to be a virgin. And if she wasn't a virgin, then she has nothing to say. On top of that, these marriages that we live under are corrupted marriages. These are marriages put together by the state. Anytime you can have same-sex marriages sanctioned by the state, which is something that flies in the face of what the Holy Bible and the Quran and all the great books teach, then that's not sanctioned by the state. So you can't evoke the Bible as a reason why you should stay married. Now, for you men who have cheated, and I know some of y'all are out there, everybody, all you men who've cheated, raise your hand. Everybody, all you men who've cheated on your wives and your girlfriends, go ahead and raise your hand. Come on, we'll wait. Come on, fellas. Come on to the tabernacle. Praise God. Somebody type praise Moses in the chat room. All you men who've cheated. somebody, if you cheated on your woman, say, I cheated in the chat room. Come on. Y'all hiding behind those faceless icons. Come on, speak on it now. Don't run from it, praise God. Don't run from it. It's time to confess to Uncle D. Uncle D is here for you. Hallelujah. Yeah, man, it's normal. It's natural for you to want to have sex with other women, fellas. It's natural. I'm not judging you. All right, we make mistakes. I understand. But what I'm here to do today, and some of y'all might be with you this Friday night. Shit. Some of y'all might be with your side chicks right now. You done just came up out of that gushy. You got your earphones in and you listening to Uncle D, and you over there right now. Somebody type right now in the chat room. Praise God. Somebody type right now in the chat room. Fellas, we make mistakes, okay? But I'm asking you fellas to begin to grow as men. I want you to be the best men you can be. I tell y'all all the time, I want you to ball. And I want you to be the best man you can be. Now, I don't think, and for you ladies who are listening, I know there's a couple of ladies in here, y'all been creeping yourselves on over here lately. I don't think any man gets into a relationship with the intent that he's going to cheat. Okay? There is some black and white area related to cheating, and then there's some gray where the morality is clouded. And all of that needs to be addressed. Those things are topics in themselves. Now, we know some of us, some of you fellas, you some of the biggest 304s out there. You are, in fact, imbued, hallelujah, you are imbued with that breeder spirit. Somebody type breeder spirit in the chat room. You are imbued with that breeder spirit. Them guts be calling you, dog. I know them guts be calling you. And you, that breeder, that spirit, that deep down in your soul, that breeder spirit comes out of you, right? And you just want to just launch yourself inside something. It's nature. It's natural for men to want to have different partners. You're designed to spread your seed far and wide. And the only men who don't believe that or refuse to believe that, they have been brainwashed by those feminine talking points. And it's ingrained in their brains. But the truth is, as a man, I understand that breeder spirit in you. Come on now, somebody type breeder spirit in there. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about you controlling that breeder spirit. See, the truth is, you are designed to upgrade and improve and spread your seed. It's all about improving your options and your possibilities so you can get stronger, better, more fit offspring. That's what you're trying to do. Nature doesn't lie. But see, what I'm asking you men to do is understand that there is something called a lack of self-control. And that is not manly, it's not masculine, and it's not mature. No matter what anyone says, the lack of self-mastery is pathetic. You can't be a man of any sort of value, let alone a high value man, if you lack discipline. So if you can't control your emotions, you can't overcome these temptations, these physical temptations, how will you ever have the mental acuity and discipline to realize your purpose? See, the term cheat in itself negates integrity. You can't be a man of integrity and also be a cheater. It's an oxymoron. Think about that. You both a cheater and you claim to have integrity. There's no such thing as a high value man in that sense. Money and prestige alone does not make you a high value man. Where are you honorable? What is your character like? It's a lot of rich men who are sleazy. It's a lot of poor men who are sleazy. It's a lot of men who are sleazy. What separates men is their character. Money is just a bonus. Money only brings out who's really in there. You are who you are. And yeah, I understand, fellas, there's a constant war against the flesh and self-desires, along with dealing with that daily testosterone rush, that new girl who works down in the mailing department, that fine woman who gave you that cup of coffee at the local Starbucks. It's a lot of temptation out there. Somebody type temptation in the chat room, right? But it makes you, I want you to understand, it makes you a superior man when you can control that. Let me say something else. It's a stiff penalty associated with messing around, especially if you have a good woman. See, good women are hard to find, despite what these ladies out here are saying. A good woman is hard to find. A woman that is cooperative, who is fit, who listens, who's submissive, who cooks, who cleans, who takes care of her body, who's in good shape, who cares about you, who deals with your BS. I want you to think about that. She get up and get you your sugar pills. And when you were young, she washed your dirty drawers, starched your shirts, all that extra stuff, cooked you dinners, took care of you, took care of your kids by that other woman. So if you cheat on a good woman, number one, you'll ruin her. And you'll ruin her for the man that she should have had and should have been with. And you wonder why we have so many bad, no good women out there. Oftentimes the source of a no good woman is a horrible man that she had. Now, given a lot of that can be done away with if women would let fathers who cared about them pick those men that they eventually end up with. Because women picking for themselves is oftentimes a problem. But nevertheless, that's a whole nother story that we've talked about. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna ask you guys, and I want you to think logically. Why even be in a committed relationship? Why even promise this woman it's just gonna be you and her, and you don't uphold that commitment? You don't have to be in a committed relationship, fellas. You can be in an open relationship, or you can be in no relationship. All a man, you need to be honest up front with these women and let her know that you're not going to be monogamous. And in that way, at least she can decide, whether or not she wants to be in that relationship, knowing the true facts. There's no need to lie to these women. Don't lie, fellas. Don't lie. It'll go a long way. It'll help you not get your tire slashed. You see? Another thing you guys need to understand is, all you guys, especially you folks in the early part of the manosphere, we went from alpha man to high value man. That's just actually the new term. Everybody want to be an alpha. Now you barely hear alpha anymore. All you hear is high value man. But nevertheless, everybody wants to be an alpha, right? So they can have sex with multiple women. But you don't understand, being an alpha man, a high value man, a man is a man of his word. If you agreed to commit to this woman, and then she submits to you based on that commitment, right? Then you play that role and you give her the man that she submitted to. See, being an alpha is more than being a person. It's more than about being. It's more than about sexual conquest. It's more than about repopulating the earth with your bloodline. It's also about giving people. It's about giving people around you stability. It's about giving them someone they can trust, somebody they can follow behind. You see, you got to keep it real with women, especially if you got a good woman. Somebody type good woman in the chat room. Okay? Somebody type good woman in the chat room. Tell them this is what it is from the beginning. Let her make that choice. They can't be mad if you're honest. Okay? You don't have to cheat if you communicate and you make an arrangement. Give her that option. Give her that option so she can leave ahead of time. There ain't a man on this page that doesn't want a good woman. If you don't want a good woman, then I might not be the podcast that you need to be listening to. I have to help you be the best man you can be. Because if you're not the best man you can be, then you're going to attract a woman that's on your level. And the truth is, if you a low down scallywag, you're going to attract a low down scallywag, and you're going to have some little mini scallywags in about 9 months. Okay. Now, again, earlier this week, I posted something, and I basically said men shouldn't cheat on their wives and girlfriends. It's just a thought that I had. And many of you disagreed. And many of you all tried to justify cheating. The cheater, the option to cheat. Should be for all men, right? And some men, you want to try to change the definition of cheating so you don't feel guilty. And the truth is, I don't see the purpose of a man moving in and getting married just so he can turn around and cheat. You can get your own house, be yourself, and you can smash whatever you want to. Now, if you're a man who's okay with cheating behind your woman's back and not being honest with her and being upfront, then you should also be okay with other sexual deviancy stuff that she does. I want to try to explain to you fellas how women feel. Listen now, I want you to hear me. You're not upfront with your woman about her cheating. So you over there keeping sexual secrets. You're not being upfront. You're basically lying by omission. And that's not cool. I want you to hear something because I'm going to hit you in the throat right quick. I'm going to go, bow, right there in the throat. I want you to understand how that feels. What's the equivalent of that? How does that woman feel when you lie and you don't, or you omit to tell her you cheating? Some of you all say, well, if she doesn't know, it shouldn't bother her. Right? Isn't that what come on now, tell the truth. Now I'm going to see yes, Uncle D. Right? You know how embarrassing that is for a woman to find out that her man is cheating on her, all her friends know, and she been bragging on your funky behind? That's embarrassing to her. And you around here telling her stuff, why you were looking through my phone? You should have been doing all that. You should have been following me. Right? That's how women feel. Y'all don't understand that, do you, fella? I know. That's a lie by omission. And even if she didn't know for all the months and years you was doing it, you lied about your sexual life behind omission. You lied about something very intimate and personal. And y'all don't understand that level of embarrassment. Now, what if, hypothetically, you find out the woman that you done been banging for the past 3, 4, 5 months started off as a boy? What if you find out that that chick that you was with is a transformer? She's straight out of, she Decepticon out here on you. You shouldn't be bothered, right? Right? You shouldn't be bothered. You know, what you don't know don't hurt you, right? But you are bothered by that. Damn, you feel betrayed, don't you? Hell yeah, yeah. Right? That's how you feel. Well, that's how women are. They're embarrassed. That's the same way you've been publicly humiliated and embarrassed. That's how disgusted just how disgusted many of y'all felt right now. That's how disgusted they feel. It's the same damn thing. It's a lie. It's an omission. It's not cool. It's disgusting. That's how they feel. Just how you feel. Because it strikes at the core of who you are as a man. And a woman that has a man that's out there cheating on it, it strikes at the core of who she is as a woman. Yeah, that's the only way you feel it. You don't have to like it, but that's how it feels. That's how disgusted they feel. So why would you ever do something like that to a woman? You made a promise. There's problems that come along with having outside children because you've been cheating. Thinking about all these fatherless black boys and girls running around with no father, being raised by random women. You got brothers having children outside of marriage. And they don't even have to lie to these women, actually. Women like married men. And trust me, if she gets pregnant, she's gonna keep that baby. Somebody type, keep that baby in the chat room. And this is nothing new. Some of you all have grandparents. You've had grandparents, grandmothers, and grandfathers where the parents have stepped out and had a side baby. You got an auntie that nobody speaks to that lives across town. And even though she's related, you don't speak to her because she was a child that was born outside of marriage. You got cousins out there that y'all don't speak to, live right down the street. Y'all got the same granddaddy because they were outside kids. And they came about because of cheating. Another thing is too many STDs out there to be out there philandering with your gonads. You got a woman at home and you bringing all that back. You bringing syphilis and HIV and HPV. You a community penis, man. You for the streets. And you can still catch an STD with a condom, especially if it breaks. And the minute she find out, you end up on the 9 o'clock news. You got a DV incident, regardless of any agreements or understandings you have. You hurt your lady. She may never trust you again. You embarrassed her. She may never get over it. You dudes always say women are emotional. She may never get over it. Just like you will never get emotional or never forget the fact that you was out there, you be ready to hurt somebody, put somebody in the dirt. If you find out that woman that you thought wasn't a real woman, that's how she feel. Your woman feel the same way when you cheating on her. That's how betrayed and hurt she feel. Disgusted she feels. And men don't understand that, fellas. And heaven forbid if you get one of them out of control side chicks, somebody type out of control. You call yourself a high value man. You rolling around in these elite circles. You're going to come in all contact with all sorts of women. You better keep it strictly professional, because there's nothing worse about messing around with some woman and then losing all your contacts due to because she done went crazy. And then your wife finds out about it. See, let me explain something to y'all. And here's a big one. A lot of you all say, look, I'm talking to men and I want you men to hear me. Hit the number 1 button. If you can hear me, it's late night with Uncle D. There's some cussing. We're going to have you had a little big bass life, started off with the, I know. Look, we're going to have a real conversation here. Now, I get it. At a certain stage, human societies and civilizations, where you had rich men, high value men, if you want, they weren't monogamous. Even our heroes of faith, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, they all had multiple wives. I'm not telling you that monogamy was always the norm for men of high value or men in general, anywhere in the world, at least for the past 4,000 years. And that's not what I'm telling you, but I'm talking about 2024. And what you need to understand is the difference between 4,000 years ago, men never promised to be monogamous. But in modern day culture, you take a vow to be monogamous. You make a promise. Okay? It's not about societies and what societies used to do. It's about you as a man. If you give your word, keep your word. If you break your word, it demonstrates a lack of integrity. If you want to have sex with multiple women, don't enter into a monogamous relationship. In polygamous cultures, where men would have more than one wife, they would have sexual access to other women who they weren't married to. It wasn't considered cheating. It was understood. In fact, high value men who could afford it, were expected to take care of more than one woman in those cultures. And irrespective of what y'all saying, human nature doesn't change regardless of ethnicity, country, language, or religion. People everywhere cheat. And you would be lying if you said otherwise because, I know a few. But what you need to understand is this. 4,000 years ago, things were a lot different. Men died all the time. They died in war. The average age was about 25. People got married at 12 and 13. Women died at birth. Life was different back then. Oftentimes, a rich man in the community or the village would marry a bunch of women because otherwise they didn't have a man to take care of them. And I elaborate on this deeply or further in my books, Rules to Live By, because this is one of those conflicts, those societal conflicts that's never going away. How many women should a rich man have? But see, the problem is now when you have one man with multiple women, that leaves other men without a woman. And so now you have a bunch of angry men walking around without women because 80% of the women are having sex with 20% of the men. And so that other 80% of the men is unhappy. And so they begin to do things that break down society. They stop investing in the institutions. They start traveling overseas looking for women. Shout out to the passport bros. It's the same thing that the Vikings did. When men can't get what they want in a society, they start leaving. And that society then begins breaking down because the men are the ones that maintain the society and build a society. So when the men become unhappy, the society is a wrap. And that's what you see happening now. So things were different back then. Yeah, wars would happen. So, your neighbor's wife is a widow now, so you marry her and bring her into your home. You take care of her. She becomes one of your wives. It was a financial need to do that. Otherwise, you have a bunch of women running around who are unkept, who are untaken care of. Women didn't have rights back then. If they didn't have a husband, they didn't have anything. So it was a different time period back then. This is not that time period. See, men cheat on their girlfriends for a lot of reasons. And I want to talk about that. Some men are just greedy. Somebody type greedy in the chat room. They're greedy. Others cheat because they have physical and emotional needs that aren't being fulfilled at home. And then there are just some men who just cheat because they are conquerors and they just need to conquer new vag, right? The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Hallelujah. And so I want to elaborate further on why men cheat. And I'm going to debunk those reasons. I'm going to debunk that logic that men use to try to justify cheating, because I want you to be better men. Now, one of the main reasons that married men cheat, you use that other cat, that side cat, to release and take out the frustration of your home life. That side cat is your getaway. So somebody type your getaway. That's your getaway vacation, your getaway oasis. You go over there and sit with your side chick. You watching reruns of Good Times, and you chip off a few dollars after you come over there after she put the her child to sleep, baby daddy in jail, whatever kind of messed up arrangement you got going on. Your mama your wife is out hanging out at her mama's house with the kids. So you done set this up all week. They're not gonna be home till about 1:30. So you over there about 8:15 to 11:30. That's what you do. And you go over there and tell about all you, man, I can't stand my wife. Man, I'm just tired of her, man. She be nagging me all the time. Somebody type nagging in the chat. She's always nagging me. Nagging. Now I know what you do. I love me, baby. You know what, baby? I just love coming over. I'm so at peace when I'm here. Somebody type at peace in the chat. I'm so at peace when I come over here. You so different. That's your little getaway. That's the cat release. You see what I mean? You using her cat to release all your frustration and anger. Hallelujah. Somebody type hallelujah in the chat room. That's one of your reasons. Instead of just being a man and telling your wife the thrill is gone, I'm done, you're not man enough to go on back out there. You don't want to go back out there. Nah, you want to have your cake and eat it too. You don't want to go out there. You don't want to deal with that divorce, huh? You don't want to have to pay for them kids, huh? You don't want to have to split that house note, huh? Shout out to Juvie, baby. Shout out to Juvenile. So you put a Band-Aid on a wound that's not going to heal. It's just going to get worse. And there are a lot of women that are okay with that, especially if you a man is giving them a few dollars. Then, of course, after the cat release woman, the stress reliever, there's this act of secrecy. See, the idea of getting over on your wife or girlfriend oftentimes is it's not just cheating. It's the idea of getting over on her. You see, it gives you some kind of rush. You're like a thrill seeker. Somebody type thrill seeker in the chat. Get you the secret. That's why the book of Proverbs says that stolen waters are sweet and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But we knoweth not the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. That's Proverbs 17 and 18. Something about having some y'all keeping secrets. That's some of y'all. Here's one of my favorites. Some of you dudes just want to redefine cheating. You want to redefine what is and isn't cheating. These men never feel guilty. You're damn near psychopathic. Or what is it called? You're just a psychopath. Y'all don't feel like cheating with another woman is actually cheating on your wife. You want to equate her with spending money that you don't approve her to spend. Anything she does that you don't approve, you equate that with you cheating. I want you to think about that. Well, you spent an extra $35 at the mall, so I went out and spent $35 on this stripper. And, or you went to your mama's house and spent the weekend, so I went to this side chick's house and spent the weekend. It's the same. That's not the same. Again, you made a promise. You made a promise, fellas. I want you to understand that. And some of you all, you want to use the Bible. Where my Bible thumpers at? I see y'all in there. Well, King Solomon had 700 wives and 3,000 concubines or something like that. And did that work out for him? Let's just think about that. I want y'all to just think about that. If you look at the Bible is littered with married men who have side chicks and concubines. King David, he killed the man so he could have access to his wife. But look, none of those relationships worked out. Look at the baby that they gave birth to. None of those relationships worked out. That's the lesson. But all y'all see is the cheating part. So you still not justified. Here's another one, and this is one that's happening a lot right now. Sexless relationships. There's a lot of men out there who are in sexless marriages. If you in a sexless girlfriend relationship, you just stupid for staying. Unless she paying your bills or something like that and you have nowhere else to go, drizzle, then you can leave. But a sexless marriage, that's something different. You need to leave. Just like I said earlier, don't cheat, leave. That needs to be a t-shirt. Don't cheat, leave. Somebody type, don't cheat, leave. If your woman has the nerve to not give you sex and you all are married, you don't have to negotiate with her. I'd give it about 3 times. Oh, 3rd time, we done. I would say, okay. Next day when she come home, everything's gone. But what she came into the marriage with, everything's in storage. And she'll be receiving that service and process within the next 10 days. Gone. You don't have to deal with a sexless relationship. Give her the kids and you leave. And she can be sexless by herself. You don't have to argue with her. You don't have to beg. You don't have to negotiate. You don't have to go to therapy. I done already told y'all what I think about these modern day Western world marriages. They're not sanctioned by God. God doesn't sanction these upside down marriages they have here in the United States, especially. She wasn't a virgin when you met her. She can't hit you in the head with the Bible when it's convenient to her. Don't cheat, leave. Leave her. Sexless, out. Gone. You're not even fulfilling the covenant that the law says you're supposed. The law says fidelity, support, and assistance. And fidelity means you don't cheat on her, but there's another part of fidelity, positive fidelity, which says that she has to give you sex. And if she doesn't do it, leave. Don't cheat, leave. No explanation necessary. Leave. Leave, leave, leave. We're not having that conversation. Women are trying to use, I have a headache. Well, this would be the last. You got 2 more times to have a headache. You did not, I'm out. Gone. Ghost. Adios. Leave. And I mean that with every ounce of my being. Leave. Well, I'm going through menopause. Well, you better use one of them other holes you got. Is the 2 hole available? Is the 1 hole available? Okay? Something's better happen. But don't cheat, leave. Don't cheapen yourself by stepping outside the marriage and being less than the man that you're supposed to be. And that's a man of integrity and character. No, you say, you know what? I wouldn't even explain myself. Shout out to no fault divorce. No fault divorce. Leave. Don't cheat. Leave. Now, some of you dudes, you got a loss of attraction to these women. This is another one. You've lost attraction to this woman. She done swole up. Out here, she was built like an apple. Now she built like a bell pepper. Yeah, you got a bell pepper broad. She don't look nothing like she looked when you met her. And you've lost attraction. You turned off. Somebody type turned off in the chat room. You turned off. Look, don't cheat. Leave, man. Leave, because as soon as you leave, she gonna get herself together. She'll be back on the market. Y'all not good for each other. But the minute you leave, she'll be all right. Now, you a cold cat. If this woman just pushed out a couple of babies for you and she done swole up, and you don't give a chance to lose that weight before you start filing for divorce. But if there's a legitimate loss of attraction, you are turned off to this woman, she doesn't arouse you sexually, well, you know what, man? If the options are cheat and leave, then leave. Period. Now, there's some of you guys, and just to recap, we're talking about all the reasons men cheat, of which there are none. Some men use another woman's cat to release their stress associated with their home life and them bad children they got. Some people like to do it because they like the secrecy associated with the act. Some men they just bogart their way and they just redefine cheating as not cheating because they don't want to feel guilty. And then some of these dudes use the Bible as cheating, but they read the part where it says all these men had these side chicks, but they don't read the part that says how bad some of those relationships turned out. Then we talked about sexless relationships and marriages, loss of attraction. Now we're going to talk about opportunity. Some of you dudes on vacation, you done went up to Indiana on a company vacation. You're sitting at the bar in the hotel and the chick starts flirting with you and rubbing on your arm and rubbing on the thigh. Next thing you know, you in 213, hanging out with her, doing the wild monkey dance. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. It's just the opportunity. And a lot of women think all men will take that out. Not all men will take that opportunity. You got to be you a little sneaky, kind of doggish kind of dude. But unfortunately, if men are presented, a lot of men, if they place themselves in positions where they can be lured by women, they're weak. As I said earlier, the mind is willing, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So fellas, that's still no excuse. I understand. I do understand. But you don't need to put yourself in positions like that. Don't go to the bachelor party. Look here, where all the cute dogs at? All the cute. Don't go to the bachelor party, cute dogs. And I don't want to put you cute dogs out there like that, but I'm just saying, cute dogs. Don't go to the bachelor party. You know what y'all gonna be doing up in there, you and your friends. And I just shout out to the brothers of Omega Psi Phi. I'm just giving y'all a hard time. It's any man. You put yourself in a position, you down there, you somewhere, and it's everywhere. It's loose vagina everywhere. You just like trying to not look at it. You know what I'm saying? You like, it's everywhere. Next thing you know, you like, next now you in it. You done took a little taste. Lord Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Look. And now you done messed around. And it wasn't even something you planned to do. It's just the opportunity arose. That's why a lot of you married, you shouldn't hang around your single friends, man. Don't do it. Go hang around some more boring married dudes. Don't do it. Y'all still with me? Let me know. Did I run y'all off? I knew this wasn't going to be a big live stream. I knew it. They don't want to hear this. This is worse. I did a broadcast a few years back about not smoking marijuana. Oh, man. I don't even see that one in the algorithm anymore. They got mad at that. Don't cheat. Just leave. But more importantly, don't cheat. Now, some of you other dudes, because you pay the bills. So I'm the provider. I provide you a comfortable life. And because of that, you should be okay with me cheating. So my question to you fellas is, where's the limit? Once that oath, once that promise is broken, that you're not going to cheat, you just change up in the middle. I pay the bills, so I can do what I want to do. Where's the oath broken? How many chicks you going to smash? Is it a weekly thing? Do you get one a month? You just pulling up at truck stops, picking up scallywags at this point. I mean, where's the stop button? You just a limitless amount of cheating now. You broke the promise because you pay the bills. So what if she pay the bills? Is she allowed to cheat then? If she pay the bills, let's flip the script. That doesn't make sense. Because you pay the bills. What does that have to do with you keeping your promise not to put yourself and insert your body parts into some other woman while you with this woman that you're married to, or you've obligated yourself because she's your girlfriend? Why not just leave? Just pay your own bills and let her go. So that's another dude. That's the financial bully right there. And there are some men that they just bogart and say that they don't have to give you an explanation because I said so. That's why I'm cheating. Now how about that one? Those men are of the opinion, hey, there's nothing wrong with cheating on my wife or girlfriend. A woman can get with the program or she can leave. A lot of these men, they purchase their own homes. They live alone. They just, because I said so. That's why I'm cheating. You need to leave that one, ladies. And fellas, if you have a daughter that's dealing with a man like that, like, you can't argue with that dude. That's who he is. But the thing is, the type of men that try to justify cheating lack integrity. And I want to be very clear on this subject. What I'm saying is, I know, fellas, some of y'all cheat. But the question is, can we acknowledge that we broke a promise and it was immoral? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Can we acknowledge that? We broke a promise. We made a promise. We didn't do the thing we said we were going to do. And we were wrong. That's what you have to understand. Now, on the flip side, if you got somebody trying to justify cheating, that's a sign of a lack of integrity. Those are the type of men that backstab you. They'll rob you. They'll do all sorts of stuff to you and tell you to chalk it up to the game. Chalk it up and charge it to the game. They're also the type of dude to tell you don't snitch on a hustler. They out there committing crimes and telling you not to report them. But they'll turn around and snitch on you after they committed the crime, so they can get back out. That's a lack of integrity. They'll go right back to committing them same crimes and be telling other people to stop snitching. That's integrity issues, hypocrisy. They have no loyalty. They're disloyal. They're not even loyal to their own families. But see, they'll be raising holy hell if some other man cheats on their sister or their daughter. I want y'all to keep that in mind. The other thing is, men who justify cheating, they might not even be able to maintain a woman of their own. They don't even have the option to cheat in the first place. Nevertheless, we're going to take a quick break. If you guys appreciate this grown man conversation, man, y'all make sure y'all contribute to the super chat. They don't like this. Like, I ain't got not one contribution since the first one. We came out the gate strong, and that ain't mad. I don't care if you're mad. Put a cape on. Be super mad. I don't care how mad you are. We're going to have this conversation because I love you, men, and I want you to be better men. And this is about integrity and character. We're going to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
In this Spurling podcast, click your mouse pad. Yeah, we out back. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Don't just hate watch cause we outside. Let them hate watch. Go and play pop. We just lay back. He don't play that. We on playback. We on playback. We go way back. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. This is Dennis Spurling podcast. Don't just hate watch, hit subscribe and let them know we outside. Don't hold hate, donate. Super chat, cash app. Put something in the collection plate. Church.
I want y'all to make sure y'all hit the number 1 button. And we're going to kind of get back to what we like to do over here, man. I need y'all to check in at a certain point when it's time to check in. I need to checking in to start happening again. We got to go ahead and get this algorithm pumping. All right, welcome back to the broadcast. Tonight we're talking about cheating. Late night with Uncle D, cheating on your wife, cheating on your girlfriend. And I'm giving you the reasons that men cheat, right? And we talked a little bit about why cheating is not good, the effects that cheating has. And I'm shout out there. I know I love y'all. You know Uncle D love you. I'm not out here simping. I want you to be better men. Fellas, I want you to be better men. Somebody type better men in the chat room. I don't want you to be looking in the mirror and feeling bad about yourself. I don't want you to be trying to hide them bumps and scars that's on your little manhood from your wife, okay? Or having to pop a pill to try to get it back up because your wife decided after you just got home from your side chick that she wanted something. I don't want you to have to be out here hiding your underwear, right? Because your wife be looking through your drugs. So now you pitching underwear out in the street as you driving home. I don't want you to have to do that, baby. You don't want. I want you to be better men than that. Praise God. Hallelujah. You out here stuffing condoms in your damn. You don't want to leave it at your side chick house because you don't know what she gonna do with it, and her baby daddy might show up, and so you done took the condom and stuffed it in your pocket, and now you got jism all in your pocket, and now your pocket is sticky. It's on your keys. And you trying to get in the house and wash your hands. You don't want your wife to hug you because she's gonna smell that other woman's womanness on you. You got a little spot in your pants because you got topped off, so it's a little drizzle around there. And you got to sneak in the house and hide them jeans. And it's your favorite pair of pants anyway. You wear them all the time, so you got to wear them again in 2 days. One day, next day, you got them in that 2-day rotation. And you know your wife is going to see it in the laundry. So now you stuck. Either you take your favorite pants off at the house and throw them away, or something happened to them. You got to throw them away on the way home. So now you're riding home you're riding to the house with your drawers on. You got to pull in the garage and hurry up and get in the house. And then your wife is looking for your favorite pair of pants. And you had to explain how 3 weeks ago they got an oil stain on them and you had to throw them in the garbage. And I'm just telling y'all, this is what you do. This y'all. I talk to enough men to know what you do. Anyway, fellas, the thing is, fellas, I want you to understand, and I kind of alluded to this before we went to the break. Are we having fun? Let me stop y'all. We having fun? This is a good conversation. It's a good, real conversation. This is the type of conversation that men with integrity should have. Instead of me telling y'all to be pimps and hustlers and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, man, get whatever woman you can, man. You know, no, that's not what I want my legacy to be. Uncle D gave us good moral advice because he cared about us and he loved us and he wanted us to be better men. I give you all the same advice I give my children. I wish somebody had given me this advice instead of trying to convince me to be a player or a pimp. That's what I grew up with. Yeah, man, be a hustler, be a player, be a pimp. Yeah, what? Nah, don't do that. And a lot of these fellas that try to justify cheating on their woman, they can't even maintain one woman. And yet they think they had an option to cheat and be with a whole bunch of women. See, the thing you have to understand is that women come with a bill. And whether I don't care what these players and so-called hustlers say, they ain't got a player bone in them. You out there hustling women for welfare checks and EBT cards, talking about you a player. Yeah, man, I ain't never paid for no woman. Nah, man, you a couch surfer. Number one, women with options, 9s and 10s, it's a bill associated with them. Oh, you gonna pay that bill? Because if you want, it's a millionaire right around her. She got 4 or 5 millionaires in her. Is she under 25? And she's fine. She can replace you in a heartbeat. And so what I need you fellas to understand, and let's just keep it 100. Men that regularly entertain multiple women, you can't possibly have time to focus on building your business and increasing your net worth. Your lifestyle is based on game and running game. And all that game plan, at the end of the game, it's just poverty waiting for you. See, when a man is on his purpose, the last thing on his mind is cheating. I remember when I was studying for the bar, man, I would wake up about 8 o'clock in the morning, go to sleep about 12 o'clock at night. I was dating a chick that time. She could come over in the middle of the day, bring me some lunch, and she had to go. And all I need is about 5-10 minutes. Let me eat that food for about 7 minutes. She got 2-3 minutes and she was gone. Okay, and I was back to studying. I had something to do. I was like one of them pigeons on top of that roof. And she was out. I ain't had time for that. How y'all think I got a perfect score on the bar? I don't have you. You don't need to be up in here taking all my spinal fluid, my baby batter. I need to focus. I'm on my purpose. She slid that food under the door, came in there. Whoop, I'm gone. She gone. The last thing on your mind when you're trying to build yourself up and becoming the man you're supposed to be is cheating. That's just a waste of time and a distraction. All those women. And here's another thing. You don't want some side chick to have that type of leverage over you. Some of y'all are in the street. Some of y'all have done dirt for people. So you know your progress is going to be limited. Because the higher you go, the higher you rise, the more people see you. And if you've done dirt with people in the street, you best believe they're going to go talk to TMZ if they have some video footage. Look at all these side chicks coming out the woodwork, talking about he did something to me, he did this to me. And they know they volunteered for the game. And then when the man get rich, they want to hold him hostage and try to get some paper. I'm gonna call, it used to be I'm gonna call your wife, now it's I'm gonna file these documents against you. You don't want somebody having that type of leverage against you to come in and destroy your family at any time. Your kids are looking up to you, man. Your kids are seeing mama is struggling and suffering now because dad cheated. At least be a man and get a divorce first. You want to, even if you don't care about your woman, you want to be able to look at your baby girl, if you got one, or your sons, and for them to respect you, at least for you not to have given them a reason not to see you in a respectful light. This is about integrity. See, overall, being solid with yourself and your relationship, that shows that you're a man of character. See, all you need is one good woman, man. You don't need all that, all them other chicks. All of that is just ego. And the question you should be asking instead of cheating is, how do I find a truly good woman and when? Well, you have to make an informed decision. You got to do the best you can. Nothing is perfect. And if it doesn't work, you need to move on. But you don't need to ever break your moral character and cheat. It's just that simple. If you want multiple women, stay single. Or have some sort of agreement with the woman. Get you a woman that doesn't mind you having multiple women. All right, that's what you do. Shout out to my man Lance Jackson, baby. I appreciate you, man. Everybody else, I don't like this conversation. Y'all are not feeling this conversation. Big shout out to Lance. I'm gonna get you in a minute, man. We're gonna get all the people who contribute to the super chat. I'm gonna catch y'all in a minute. We're gonna make sure we acknowledge y'all. I want to see some questions, man. I want y'all to challenge me on this, man. I want you because see, and I'm gonna kind of deviate a little bit. Black Americans, Black men especially, around the 1960s or 70s, we lost the fathers in the Black community. And so what replaced that was the image of the pimp and the hustler and the player. And so we use that and transpose that on our ideals of manhood. And so what we had is a group of men raised in the 60s and the 70s who saw being a player and having multiple women as being manly. And they passed that down and it went straight through the 80s, 90s, 2000s. And y'all dealing with the remnants of it right now. It's nothing cool about cheating. Even those dudes who talk about polygamy, that wasn't cheating. Those were marriage relationships. Those were businesses. Remember, put it in context. Marriages were business back then. It was a business relationship. I married this woman because I wanted offspring. That's financial. That's a financial decision. I married this woman because she came from this type of family and she had a certain, brought a certain financial bid. It wasn't about cheating. It's financial. Marriage is a business. You just running out there, just smashing whatever woman is available. That's not it. That ain't it. Like I said, if you want to be with multiple women, stay single. Or get an agreement with some woman and have multiple women. If you want to get married and you're ready to settle down and be monogamous, then get married. If you want to work on that, get a girlfriend and practice. But why be committed or implicate yourself to be committed to a person if you're just going to cheat? You might as well stay single and see what's out there. Look, and for you ladies, I don't want you to judge these men. They may cheat and they may love you in their own way. And this message is for you ladies. They might love you, but love is not enough. The reason I'm talking to these men is because it takes integrity and discipline to remain faithful in a monogamous relationship. As a young man, you should have learned that when you cheat, you're only hurting yourself. But I don't put that sort of expectations on young men. That's why I tell you, brothers, to wait until you get older. Wait until you reach the age of wisdom. Some of you men need to date enough to just realize what this is about. And when you get in your late 30s, early 40s, then you can commit to a relationship. Young men haven't learned the importance of integrity and discipline yet. And they really just need to be left alone so they can get those lessons out there. Because all they end up doing is hurting themselves, end up with that starter marriage. Somebody type starter marriage in the chat room. Somebody type starter marriage in the chat room. That first set of kids, right? Because remember, when a man is moral, then his woman has to be moral and his children has to be moral, because he can hold them to that. He maintains the moral high ground. When I say moral high ground, he's sitting up on that mountain of morality, telling them what they should and should not do. And he's not a hypocrite, and he's not seen as a hypocrite in his own house. But when a man is not moral, then how can he impose morality on his children? How can he truly be the head of the household? And again, I tell you men all the time, it's not about the financial head, it's about the moral head of the household. Who's the moral leader of the household? It's not the woman, it's supposed to be the man. But what if the man is immoral? He out there cheating and doing all sorts of debauchery. Fellas, you just can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't. As a man, you want to maintain that moral high ground so you can rule over your house from a place of moral authority. I told you guys this a long time ago. Staying faithful maintains your moral leverage and standing in the family. You get to tell people what to do from a moral position. And we need to bring moral authority back to Black households, back to all households, and we need to put it front and center. We need to get rid of this pimp mentality that we have. We need to, fellas. How could you ever expect a woman to submit to an arrangement where honor and integrity only works one way? Think about that. We've talked about men cheating, and some of you men have tried to justify this cheating. Is that only going to go one way? Somebody type one way in the chat room. How would you feel if your wife said, well, you're cheating, so I'm cheating? You wanted a thrill, so I wanted a thrill. You kept secret, so I kept a secret. How would you feel about that? Is she allowed to cheat? Somebody type one way in the chat room. Is your woman allowed to cheat? Y'all still mad at Jada Pinkett Smith right now. And Will was she was cheating in one side of the house, and Will was cheating in the other side of the house. Fellas, let's look at our hypocrisy right here. Come on. Jada Smith is the most horrible person in the world. Yet we openly see Will Smith flirting with all sorts of these young actresses and whatnot. But see, your egos can't handle it, fellas. Your ego's the idea. Now you cool with you out there sticking your little self in some woman somewhere, some random woman. But the idea that somebody is messing around with your little pot pie, that got you running hot. She'll be all kind of the lowest things in the world, but you sitting out here doing the same thing. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Again, is this only going to go one way? Now, let's say this, man. And just for you guys who don't know, man, Kevin Samuels used to mention me often on his broadcast. He and I spoke pretty often. He's one of the reasons why I upgraded my stuff. And some of you are going to try to use my friend's words against me. Some of you are going to say, well, Kevin Samuels said it was okay for high value men to cheat. That's what you're going to say. But you're not understanding the context in which he said it. Kevin Samuels said many things. But he often repeated that high value men have the option to cheat on their wives and girlfriends. Now, I disagree with that. Somebody type, Uncle D disagrees. I think that all men, rich or poor, should be bound by their word. See, we don't cheat because it lessens us as men with integrity. See, Kevin, he used the word cheat because that was a language that women understood. They understand that, cheat. He took his time to try to explain this to men and women. And what he was trying to explain was that men of status, even throughout history, had the luxury of having multiple women. It was an option. He cited Bill Gates. And Bill Gates had an understanding with Melinda Gates. And I believe Bill Gates even had a girlfriend on the side that he would go visit once a year. It was an understanding that he had an option, but all the women heard was cheat. Kevin said it all the time, that high value men had the option to exercise the right to cheat. But he also spoke about discipline and not just being reckless with yourself. He said these high value men should keep their options open. But to put what he said in context, he was talking about options. And I have the utmost respect for Kevin Samuels. I just disagree that high value men, rich men, successful men should give themselves that option to cheat. I think you should be bound to your word. Otherwise, don't get married or don't get in a relationship. I don't want you to succumb to your lower self. Somebody type lower self in the chat room. Where your chakras at? I don't want you to go below that mid chakra. I want you to be your higher self. Okay? I never agreed with Kevin Samuels. I love my friend. I miss my friend. But I didn't agree with him in that vein. I say stay true to your marriage, stay true to your vows. You have to set an example for your children. And cheating on your spouse causes nothing but divide in your family, and it may cause your kids to lose respect for you. And that's one thing I never want. I never want my sons to lose respect for me. I never want my family to be divided because of something, because I fell short, because I succumbed to my lower self. I don't want that. And the thing is, the irony is, Kevin said, he never said to cheat as a matter of fact. He said it was an option. But the thing is, be mindful of this. Kevin said he never cheated in his marriage. Kevin never cheated. He just said it was an option. Now, what does that mean? Somebody type, what you talking about, Uncle D? Having the option to cheat doesn't mean Kevin was incentivizing it or saying you should. Just when you reach the point of high value men, you should cheat. That's not what he said. He was trying to make it clear to women that if a man reaches the finish line without a wife and he becomes a high value man and he's doing well for himself, he has social status, he has money, people know he's rich, he's helpful to the community, then the dating pool favors him because he's what women are looking for. See, there's more women on earth than there are high value men to go around. That's why most women are completely fine with sharing a high value man, a rich man. Hell, they fine with sharing a pookie. There's a rapper somewhere, some rapper's cousin's got 26 baby mamas. Some of them are pregnant all at the same time. You're going to have ghetto twins. Somebody type ghetto twins in the chat room. Somebody type ghetto twins in the chat room. You know what a ghetto twin is? Explain to them what a ghetto twin. Pookie got multiple women pregnant at the same time. Those are ghetto twins. He might ghetto triplets or quadruplets. That's when you have multiple women pregnant at the same time and all the kids are born and they have the same year of birth. And they might be the same age. All those kids go to the same school. They got different last name and look just alike. They got that same peanut head that their daddy had. Those are ghetto twins. So some of you are saying, well, if Pookie can do it, so can a high value man. Again, I've already explained the difference between polygamous relationships and cheating. A polygamous marriage is a business arrangement. It's not done solely for self-gratification and satisfaction. More importantly, Pookie has no integrity. That's why he's a Pookie. You don't want to be like them. And the other thing is, being a high value man does not require having some extramarital affair. Kevin was trying to use that to illustrate his point. He was basically saying, you ladies say you want this high value man. Do you know this high value man who you weren't with when he was shooting in the gym, when he was coming up, when he was getting this money that you now find desirable like the rest of these women? You weren't with him then? He has the option to cheat. You might want to stick with one of these regular dudes over here as opposed to having to deal with an extramarital affair every 6 months. You need to get you an average man and stop looking over these average men instead of trying to deal with a high value man who you're not ready for. Because he can hop on a flight, take a first class flight to South America, Central America, London, the Caribbean, Australia, Asia, anytime he wants to, and you can't even, you got to keep that job over. You got a name tag job. You're not on that budget. You don't know what he's doing halfway around the world. With who? He got 10 just like you. So you might want to stick with that average man, lower your expectations. That's what my brother was telling you. See, high value men have options because they're desired by 90% of the women. And high value men, they don't create these options. Women desire them, and that creates those options. Market creates those options. Now, exercises on those options, that's a different subject. I say, do not do so. Even if you are a high value man, don't exercise those options, brothers. Bind yourself to your word. Wouldn't we like it if these beautiful women who had all these options, who entered into relationships, wouldn't we like it if they would bind themselves? They would keep their word? Because beautiful women have similar options as high value men. The market creates their options. They have plenty of men who want to be with them. It's the same. And what you see there is hypergamy at work. Having an option means having the ability to cheat. It doesn't mean that you should cheat. Kevin Samuels was showcasing the pros and cons of dating high value men so that women didn't have any surprises. And they'd have no reason to file for a divorce since they knew what they were getting when they got into. And again, he also was trying to showcase the advantage of having an average man or a less developed man. Nothing wrong with that. He's just letting the women know that the actual high value men, number one, he can smell a woman who's in it for the lifestyle that he can provide for her. He can smell her across the room. And in that regard, in exchange, he's going to do what he wants with his side chicks. See, your status makes opportunities available. And if you can't deal with it, you don't need to get married to a man like that. Don't get married to a man for what he's doing for you. And then expect him to be faithful. Like a man who came up with you. Kevin was trying to explain to them that there's a sacrifice that you make. You sacrifice the lifestyle he provides that he already had for the financial gains. You see? Oftentimes when these same high value men, when they get a woman that really doesn't care about their money, then they tend to stay monogamous because they actually value that woman. And he wants to be there. I'm saying this, as a high value man, as someone that Kevin Samuels spoke to on a regular basis and we discuss things, I'm telling you, don't cheat on your wife. Don't cheat on your girlfriend. We'll talk about that a little more when we come back. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're marching our way to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you subscribe. Don't just hate watch. Subscribe. I'll be right back.
I want to see you win. And I put pressure on us men to understand how we did not get our masculinity training. And we have been doing our work, okay? But now it's time for you ladies to understand you're going to have to bet on us like you want us to bet on you. I talked to several men this week. I don't just get on here and talk shit. I have men I call around the world and I ask, what do you think about this concept? Level set me. Shout out to brother Dennis Spurling. Dennis, I'm not going to get, I don't want to tell people's business, but I'm going to tell you, high value men retire their women or make them come work for them. So ladies, what is it going to take for you to free yourself? Because you and I both know you're dying at these jobs. You're in a toxic.
All right. Shout out to the late, great Kevin Samuels, man. Somebody type KS, but type KS in the chat room, man. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. It's always good. I'm glad so many people are still benefiting from his wisdom. I mean, he's everywhere now. You know, not only have his clips been chopped up and spread throughout the internet, but you see it beginning to impact greater society. Like, he is now he is now a legend. I mean, what I'm saying is his ideas, his thoughts, his terminology. I mean, the term high value man is now part of the lexicon, right? Or not term, but that phrase high value man is part of the lexicon. It's, as I said earlier, it's replaced the alpha, right? Remember that before Kevin Samuels, everybody wanted to be an alpha, and now everybody wants to be a high value man. That's pretty dope when you can change the world. Somebody type change the world in the chat room, you know? And there'll never be another replacement for him. I don't think there ever will. I don't, and you guys know me, I am not interested in giving dating advice at all, but I am into helping men become better men. So as related to topics of being the best men you can be, being able to hold yourself in high regard and integrity, I will tackle these issues. This is not, to me, it's not relationship related. It's about you, irrespective of what the woman does. It's you men that I'm concerned about because you set the tone. See, we're talking about integrity. We're talking about character. This is what we're talking. We're talking about morality. We're talking about what kind of men you're going to be. That's what we're here talking about. So, anyway, like I said, and if you guys are enjoying this, man, make sure you hit the #1 button. Thank you guys so much. Everybody who's came through. I got some dedicated dudes up in here, man. Shout out to all my guys that's been here for a minute. Your excellence, man. You going in. Shout out to you, bro, man. I got to make sure I read. I'm going to read all your comments, but I want to finish this up, man. I want to get this all in. So again, I'm saying men shouldn't cheat on their wives and girlfriends. And some of you guys have seen my videos. You know my past. I'm a big, strong man. I'm a tall man. I'm a successful man. And I've had ample opportunities to cheat. I'm a high value man, as Kevin would say. I choose not, though. I choose not to cheat. I choose to exercise self-discipline and self-control. And that's something that comes with maturity. Okay? As a man who's a protector and a provider and a dedicated father, right? A wealthy man, a well-known man, I probably could have a side chick or two, right? I probably could. I probably could have a couple side chicks. I could. But see, once you reach a certain age, your cheating days should be over. Because the truth is, what's left out there other than your wife, it's not worth it. And it's only temporary. And I can assure you that you won't be happy when you get out there. Trust me, I know. More likely, if you don't have a wife, you're just the older fella out there, you're probably going to be single for the remainder of your life. They say the stats show that men over the age of 40 have a less likelihood chance of getting married. Now, you might get that occasional rendezvous with that divorcee, all right, on Saturday nights. But that's not going to make you happy. You're going to be alone most of the time. No company, no nothing. Just by yourself. I mean, you could take up some activities like lifting weights and so on and so forth and playing video games or whatever. But the bottom line is there's no happiness. Family is happiness. That's the only thing that's important at a certain age. Now, of course, there's always the passport bro option. But let's keep it 100 with it. And I think the honeymoon about passport bros is over. And for you guys who don't know, Uncle D is one of the OG passport bros, the OG modern day passport bros. Because there's a lot of men who, they weren't passport bros per se. Like literally, Kevin Samuels had to call me back from being a passport bro and say, join my group. I'm the one he was talking about, because it was one thing when you had regular guys traveling overseas, going to Brazil. It's another thing when you had rich black men like myself who are successful traveling overseas. We're the ones that he wanted to come back. If you listen to Kevin Samuels carefully, he will tell you he only dealt with high value men. And that was his concern. See, all these high value men who are taking their time, money, resources, talents, and potential to have children overseas. He has spent years working with black men specifically on YouTube, helping them refine themselves, get their clothes game together, their cologne game, helping them with their soft skills. And then he realized, well, darn it, there are not enough women out here that can take these men. So these dudes, what are they going to do? They're either going to marry out, and then the passport bro situation happening. And he realized, man, I better start talking to these women. So I'm one of the original passport bros. And I can tell you, now that the honeymoon is over, shout out to Austin Holloman. Austin is telling y'all the truth. It ain't all peaches and cream over there. If you want to live a certain lifestyle, it's very expensive. At one time, I had a villa in Cabarete, 4-bedroom villa, swimming pool in the back, had a maid, about $1,600 a month, $2,000, $2,400 a month to maintain it with the maid and the other bills. I would fly out to the DR once a month, stay for about 10 days between the time period when I had to pick up my children. Oftentimes I would fly to the DR on like a Monday after I dropped my kids off, stay there for about a week and a half, and then fly from Santo Domingo to Bogota, where I had an apartment in Parque 93, which is an upscale area in Bogota. 10 days every month. So so I was spending about $3,000 or $4,000 just for residences outside the United States. Not to mention airfare, and I flew first class. Somebody type first class in the chat room. It's very expensive. And then when you deal with a lot of women, oh man, I had a girlfriend. Sometimes I didn't. I had a girlfriend here, girlfriend there, girlfriend everywhere. But see, before that, in my 20s and 30s, I worked 16 to 20 hours a day. Somebody type 16 to 20. I didn't start taking trips to my 40s after I got divorced. See, I wasn't married at that time, nor did I have a girlfriend. It's greater later. Somebody type is greater later in the chat room. Now, before I even left the United States, and I don't usually get into my personal business, and I don't talk, and I'm not here to brag. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't. But I have had sex with hundreds of women in the United States before I even went overseas. I stopped counting in law school and I was over 100. So I've never had problems getting women. I've always been tall. I've always been handsome. I've always been physically fit. I mean, now I'm 50. It's a little different, even though I'm handsome. At least my wife says I'm handsome. But the bottom line is, I've always had an opportunity to be with women. I've always had an opportunity to cheat. It is discipline, and I'm talking about de-discipline, because de-discipline screams integrity, and it puts you on another level that you can't attain simply by having money. And it's not something that majority of men can attain. It makes you stand out as a man, and those are the type of men I want you to be. See, integrity pays off in the end. Some of you men who lack integrity, poor judgment, you get extorted in family court. You have unpleasant outcomes because that cheating also brings about unpleasant and unnecessary negativity into your relationships, all of them. Why marry somebody and commit adultery? Just continue to fornicate. Just continue to have fun out there and be single. If you don't have self-control, marriage is about self-control. Being in a monogamous relationship is about self-control. Now, some of you, and this is interesting, I always talk about wives and girlfriends because but some of you all say that, hey, I understand not cheating on my wife, but my girlfriend, that's not a real legal commitment. Why should I value that? Why should I be loyal to her? Because you gave your word. And so your integrity is at stake. You told that girl that it's just going to be you and I. We're going to be together. That's your word. That's your understanding. It's implied. See, morals, ethics, and values and principles, that's everything. That's really all you have. Fellas, you got to learn to control your biology. Control yourself, man. Your sexual discipline is your greatest asset. One woman is more than enough for you, man. I believe in loyalty. Plus, it helps ensure your children's financial future. Having all these split up families and multiple households, It's a mess. Somebody type it's a mess in the chat room. Nevertheless, we've taken a deep dive into why men shouldn't cheat on their wives and girlfriends. We basically explored why men should avoid cheating on their wives and girlfriends. And there's a few points that I want to reemphasize because I want you to be able to take this with you. Number one on the list why men shouldn't cheat, moral integrity. Somebody type moral integrity in the chat room. Cheating undermines a man's integrity and devalues his commitments and promises. Second, self-control. True masculinity and maturity evolve, or should I say, it involves self-discipline and control over your desires. The other thing is the impact on a relationship. Cheating causes significant harm in a relationship, and it leads to trust issues, emotional pain, and potential physical explosions. There's consequences associated with cheating. It can result in unintended children, STDs, and damage to the family dynamics. And it's true. Regarding the cultural and historical context, while some men of value historically had multiple partners, modern commitments, modern relationships, they are upheld on integrity. And so it's a different set of circumstances. The most important thing, in my opinion, is honesty in communication. You need to be honest, fellas. You need to be honest with these women. That's somebody's daughter out there. It might be your daughter. Would you want your daughter to have to deal with some cheating dude, bringing STDs home to her, breaking up the family? Now you have all those grandchildren in the house with you because she had to move out because she can't stand him anymore. That's a mess. You men need to be honest with your intentions and avoid entering monogamous relationships if you don't intend to be faithful. And if you have entered into a monogamous relationship and you find that you can no longer be faithful, then leave. Be a man, file a divorce, and leave. Now, we referenced Kevin Samuel's perspective, and we noted a disagreement with his view that high-value men had the option to cheat. And my opinion is, and I emphasize the importance of staying true to one's commitment. It's not about the options you have. There's a lot of options you have in life, but it's your integrity that I'm concerned about. It's who you are that I'm concerned about. At the end of the day, cheating does not lead to long-term happiness, and it can have negative repercussions, including legal and financial consequences. And I think this has been a crucial conversation about upholding commitments, practicing self-discipline, and prioritizing moral integrity over succumbing to temporary desires. And I hope this discussion gave you all some valuable insights and encourage you to reflect on your own actions and relationships. And I appreciate y'all for joining me. Now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I want to read these super chats. And if you guys have heard something that you appreciate and that you like, hey, man, make sure you contribute to the super chat. Show your appreciation. You know, if you learn something, if you're feeling what I'm saying, that's the best way to do it. The super chat, the Cash App is available right here. Nevertheless, this is Uncle D. I'll be right back, and we are going to read all the super chats. Shout out to everybody who hung in, but it's late night with Uncle D, man. We'll be right back.
King. Gotta watch your back, even family that's amongst you. Got a slut ass auntie and a cool ass uncle. Kinda won't front you, but let you ride the whip around the block like you stunts. Don't do a lot of bumping. When your mama call when her ex-man jumping, all you see is feet and her ex-man stumping. That's my Uncle D, that's why the Blizzard King coming. Hot girl winter, Blizzard King summer. My we's a coming. No singing and no humming, talking we shall overcome it. Got him leaking, I'm the plumber. My nigga made Zoom look cool, yeah, you funny. What else Uncle D gotta prove more money? Overlook the tunes, if gotta shun him. Brotherhood over any woman. Cause if she play a role, then she fam, then she good. When we say brother, my sister, we mean the hood. Now homie pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can serve your knowledge and dish it just how you want. He just run his mouth and that bullshit we debunk. In a sunken place, he's sinking that drunk. He don't even drink and I tell you that drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. He don't even drink and I tell you that drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. Brand good, suit and tie, lawyer reppin' manhood. He don't tap dance, he overstand, he playing good. Titles don't get it, most of us getting ambushed. Mayonnaise, clam bush, buck broken, man tush. Woke up in the morning, got walk, that's on my mind. Peace can only come when you're low and order divine. Chaos stay entwined, you keep a criminal mind. How you think I shine and stay from falling behind? He got open eyes and can't see it, he blind. You nice all the time, they tell you water is wine. Slaughter all your sons and leave your daughters behind. All she wanna do is flash that big behind. Your music is the garbage they use to take you down. You used to rap intelligent, now you rapping like clowns. My prerogative, you thinking like Bobby Brown. Rest in peace to Whitney, Christina, that's underground. Wake up years later, you've been around. Water up to your neck and watching you as you drown. How you scoring touchdown again and you out of bounds? All the black men getting passports out of town. Homie pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can sip your knowledge, your dishes just how you want. He just run his mouth and that shit we debunk. In the sunken place, he singing that good song. He don't even drink and I tell you that the drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. He don't even drink and I tell you that the drunk. Nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. My Uncle D, 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 favorite uncle, Uncle D, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, favorite uncle, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, my favorite uncle, Blizzard King, Uncle D, Uncle D, Uncle D, my favorite uncle, what? Uncle D, my favorite uncle, my Uncle D. My Uncle D, yeah, Uncle D.
Brother Spurling. Brother Spurling met his fiance in my mixed group, and she was doing her thing, Ivy League educated, beautiful sister. He's a successful attorney. Now he's like, shh, that's my wife. I'm gonna put her through law school. She's gonna become an attorney at my practice. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I want to call you back to the sister that called into my show who said, when I first listened to you, I didn't like you.
All right. Shout out to the late, great Kevin Samuels, man. His wisdom reigns true. I want to take the opportunity to give a big shout out to everybody who came through with the super chats, man. Shout out to your excellent sir. Let's start this off right. Black nuclear family is my goal. Salute to Uncle D and all the work he's putting in for the community. Match the truth, man. Shout out to you, man. And that's what it's about. It's not about you as an individual. It's about your family. It's about your legacy. You can't have a proper legacy if you got children spread out all over this place and that place, man. You got to bring those children under your home and under your tutelage and under your wisdom. That's how you become a true patriarch, man. So a patriarchal man. So thank you for understanding and being loyal and being the man that you're supposed to be, being a moral man, a man with integrity. Those things are important for your legacy. That's how you go about being remembered. You don't want your legacy to be besmirched. But thank you for being one of the few people who contributed to the super chat. I know this conversation, I'm telling y'all, this conversation was about as unappealing to the brothers as when I was talking about why you shouldn't smoke marijuana. They don't like that. But just because you don't like it don't mean I'm not going to say it. Because it needs to be said, fellas. Don't cheat on your wife. Don't cheat on your girlfriend. It's not about her. It's about you. And if you feel the need to cheat, just leave. Shout out to my man Mahai Gambler, a little something now that I got moved into my new place. Shout out to you, man. Gentleman, Kevin Samuels was 100% correct. You can be broke, bum today and a high value man tomorrow. Not there yet, but definitely on the way, man. Don't give up. Bro, let me tell you something, man. And I didn't know if I wanted to tell y'all this because I got a lot of hate watchers out there. Shout out to the hate watchers. But man, I'm debt free. I wrote some checks this week, totaling mid six figures, and I'm debt free. Taxes, business debt, community debt, house been paid for, cars been paid for. So I'm a free man. You talking to a young brother that was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles. My mother was a teenager when she gave birth to me or got impregnated with me. I just met my real father 12 years ago. I had every reason to fail. But I literally hustled and hustled. It's been some hard times. I was telling my wife about that earlier. It's been some difficult times where I could have just gave up. But I stuck to it, and here I am. 3 beautiful sons, beautiful home, debt-free. Somebody type debt-free in the chat room. But remember, I work 16 to 20 hours a day sometimes. And I worked and I had a goal, and here I am. There's nobody else in my family as successful as I am. Not in this generation. Not living like me, not doing what I can do. The reason I can come to you all and have these broadcasts and put so much time and effort into the quality of these broadcasts is because I have a successful business and I'm debt free. So, Kevin was right about so many things. And even while I disagree, his arguments are valid. Miss that brother, man. There'll never be another one like him, but, shout out to you, young brother, man. Keep working. I'm happy you moved in your new place. And thank you so much for making the sacrifice. Mile High Gambler, appreciate you. Big shout out to Me University. Thank you so much. It says, love it. That's right, man. Men who are married and they loyal to their wives, man, you fellas are the unsung heroes. I love seeing people get married. I got a couple of friends right now. They got their wives, and and I got the brother. He got his little wife, man, this beautiful black woman. They got the beautiful children. I'm so proud of them. I love that, man. We all should want that. I'm not one of these dudes that telling you to run out and get you a wife that's from another color. I want you to have your beautiful little black wife. I want that for you. If you can't get it, fine. I understand. But if you do get a woman, be loyal to her, man. And be loyal all the way up through the girlfriend phase so she'll know you're a man of substance. Don't be cheating and then all of a sudden think you're going to stop cheating when you get married. You a cheater. Keep your promise. Be a man of integrity. Shout out to you, Me University. Appreciate you. Lance Jackson. Look at you, hand clapping. You ain't say nothing. You quiet. But thank you so much, fam. I appreciate you for the super chat. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the super chat, man, the channel. But a shout out to Lance Jackson. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you for that 99. 99. All right. Appreciate that. And then who else we got here? Your Excellence, sir. My man said, no lie. It's quite easy to ask your lady if she's willing to enjoy another lady with you. Here you go. Side note. Now we are both prone to the outside STDs. Ooh, it's really worth it to cheat or have multiple. Yes. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Don't bring them evil spirits into your relationship. Even all that extracurricular activity with all that, don't do all that either. If you need a side chick, you don't have no side chicks with your wife. Your wife is your wife. Okay, you show respect for your wife. Wife is a title. And if you got a girlfriend worth having, then you know, you don't want to expose her to all that either. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, anyway, shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chats. I want to take the opportunity to give a shout out to the folks who came through with the Cash App. Thank you so much, Sean. Appreciate you, fam. Sean, and then also Mr. McDowell. But I've had a great conversation. I've enjoyed this. I hope you guys appreciate the work that I put in. I look forward to reading the comments. You know, this has been Late Night with Uncle D. No cheating on your wife or girlfriend. I know it's controversial, but it's honest, man. I wouldn't be me if I didn't give y'all this good, moral, upstanding advice. I wouldn't be, you don't listen to people who give you advice that sends you down the path of destruction. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be the one that tells you to be pimps and players and hustlers and gangsters and not. I'm going to be known for giving you more upstanding advice. I'm going to be known for telling you brothers to speak up for yourself, to stand up for yourself. That's who I'm going to be. That's who I'm going to be. That's what I want my legacy to be. And I'm going to stick to it. Shout out to Mile High Gambling. Nothing but love for you, Kevin, TLA, O'Shea, and so many other Black Manosphere content creators that were nothing but a positive influence when we needed it most as men. Glad to see you still doing it. Rest in power, Kevin said. Yeah, that's right, man. Rest in power. Thank you so much, fam. I see my man Wrench Turner came through. We out late. This is Late Night with Uncle D. Right, late night. I might have to do this a couple more times. This way we don't get all the fluff in here. Sometimes we get a lot of folks in here who haven't been here. But the later I go, the more my old school fellas. Shout out to everybody who's been here for a minute. Oh, I see my man Joe Martin. Who else? Where my guys? I saw Wrench Turn. Of course, Your Excellence is here. Let me see, man. Let me know where my wrench mob at. Sean 06. Shout out, Frat. Appreciate you, brother. Broken Blade. That's my man. Shout out to Broken Blade. Thank you so much. Who else we got up in, man? We done put everybody to bed, huh? I guess everybody else went to sleep. But man, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Salty Balls. There it is, baby. We ain't had a good sermon from you in a minute. Well, we need you to go ahead and give us some of those good tabernacles. You should have been here on this sermon. Deacon Salty Balls came in a little late tonight, but that's all right. I'm sure we'll get him motivated to give us some good scriptures from the book of Cheetah Records or something like that. But thank you guys so much, man. God bless y'all. Y'all enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. As I always say at this time, guys, I love you. I appreciate y'all. And again, I'm going to give you the same advice that I give my sons. And I tell my sons all the time, when you get your little girlfriend, don't cheat. When you get your wife, don't cheat. And I mean that, man. Anybody out there telling you to be players and hustlers and whatnot, and they are not, even with the passport bros thing, if you going over there tricking and paying, I tell you that's temporary. Have your fun. Don't take that seriously. Okay, that's not a permanent lifestyle you should live. That's not holy. It's not healthy, and it's not safe. Again, I'm glad, the passport bro thing is fun. It's a phase you should go through, right? It's a phase you should go through, but if you should mature from that. Can't do that forever. You shouldn't be 68 years old over there tricking in Sasua, okay, or down in Medellin tricking in Thailand. You need to give that up. At some point, you need to mature. All right, I love y'all. I might have to revisit that conversation. I love y'all, man. I'm not gonna give you bad advice, no matter how bad you want me to co-sign your debauchery. Uncle D is not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna love you despite yourselves, and I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, even if you don't want to hear it. But other than that, man, I love you guys. Like I always say at this time, it's Uncle D, and I'm out.
In the Spurling podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.